Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear Danny. I'll show you see what's going on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today. I know what happened there. Today, yeah, how you doing? Oh, good to hear, good to hear. There's now an interactive show, just like Dora the Explorer. So, if anything happens, you can call out to your TV and I'll be like, oh, there it is. Where is it? And I'll pause, wait for you to say something, and I'll go, I still can't see it. I don't know, we're doing a pantomime now. Is that a thing? I feel like, you know, in YouTube videos, or any sort of video, perfect sort of media for a pantomime, seeing as the pantomime doesn't really respond to you anyway. Hello there everyone, now in Fawnhollow, it's 5:27 PM on Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. No news that you can think of, so we'll just go about our usual business. What have we been up to today? Recorded some Celeste, did some programming. I need to do some drawing because I need to actually finish off the Talis Principle. I've done my line out of colour. I'm looking at it now, I haven't actually looked at it for a while. It's okay, the cat looks kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, I'm just going to be like, you know, Talis Principle is going to be a little bit unsettling, probably. Who knows? So I'm just going to save that as my intention. Whenever something doesn't go quite exactly to what I wanted, just be like, yeah, but I meant to do that. And pretend you do. Get pumped, Canopy. I found this really awesome art thing when I went out. Oh, okay, you know, we've definitely had this before. Let us see what they gave to see if Rowan perfectly... That's not what he gave us. It perfectly gave us a different sort of art piece which we have not submitted yet to the museum. Westfall painting, I'm pretty sure we have. Is this one fake? That looks fake. I'm pretty sure that's a fake. I'm pretty sure we have 2 copies of a legitimate one already as well. So that's just sort of like just another one I suppose we'll add to the collection. But yeah, I just watched some videos because, you know, why not? If you're wondering with the wired videos, you're probably quite familiar with them. But I like the ones where they have, unsurprisingly, I can't remember what it's called. It's like technique criticism or something. It's basically where they get an expert in the field to basically break down and explain some other things in their field. And I just watched one about a con artist. I think that was a wired one. It was a different sort of setup where he was breaking down like a load of pickpocket scenes in movies and that sort of thing. I don't. And I'm hesitantly going to say it's interesting. Not another thing I was like, oh, you know, I want to take this up as a hobby. I want to go learn how to pickpocket people just casually. Absolutely not. I don't want to recreationally commit crimes. That sounds not like a fun thing in my sight. If you want to do that, then please don't. You know, that's a bit of a change up from my usual and do what you do, as long as it's not hurting anyone. I think I'm going to hurt people, so perhaps don't do that. But I think it was interesting to see them break it down because... you know, you can get a sense of awareness, I suppose, about these sort of things, can't you? If you're told with sort of techniques that con artists or want to try and use on you and how they pick out their prey or pick out their mark, right, and that sort of thing, you can sort of shield yourself from those sort of effects, right? You know, they want people who are, you know, not exactly paying full attention to exactly what's going on. They want people who are vulnerable in the sense that they're not going to exactly put up much of a fight. People who put their valuables in easy to locate places, easy, just like, you know, back pocket, easy lift, like that. And I suppose if anything, it's sort of oh well, now we get that one. Reaffirms to me my own paranoia, I suppose. I tend to be, I'd say, more cautious about this sort of thing for the average person, I'd imagine, especially with when I go into like big cities, like especially deep into London, I suppose. With like my purse and my phone and that sort of thing, like and my keys, I'll constantly just like have a little check just to see they're there every so often. I never leave things out my sight. Like if I have a bag, and not a backpack necessarily, but I normally have like side messenger bags. I immediately forgot my Nookmar missions. I'll keep them like slightly swung around to the front so I can sort of keep them in my periphery, right? Because I don't expect myself to fully be staring at my bag the entire time. That's a little bit impractical, shall we say. But I do expect me to be able to pick out some movement from my peripheral vision if I notice it happening. So that's why, you know, I swing around bags to the front, you know, and give it a good old pat to be like, is phone still there? Just check, you know, my purse every now and then, say, are my cards still there? But, you know, it reminds me because there used to be a show on BBC 2? I don't remember. It's been a while, and maybe it's still going on, called Real Hustle. Actually, let's see if it's still going on. Real Hustle, which did similar sort of things like this and much more like educational series. It stopped in 2012, where these three con artists, BBC Three, that makes more sense actually. Starring, these narrated by. Are these actual con artists? Let's see. No, hold on. We don't want narrated by. We want presented by. These three, right? Are these actual con artists? Or is he someone who just learned how to become a con artist? I don't know. But anyway, they're these like maybe con artists, maybe not con artists or whatever, who basically demonstrated these sort of like cons and hustles that people do. Or con artists do to try and, of course, you know, rip you out of your money and that sort of thing. And the most interesting ones were, and definitely, they did some interesting ones where they like set up like whole bits and things like that through misdirection, like cause scenes and like pubs and that sort of thing, and show how easy it is to take people's cash and money because they do it on real people. Then presumably they give it back, and it'd be kind of strange if they didn't. But the ones which I always find crazy are the ones which are just so subtle, so quick, like you know, blink and you miss it, because that's like kind of the whole point, is to go undetected. Because if you wanted to go detected, I guess you just be a mugger or something instead. It's the ones that are similar as like, oh yeah, you know. But someone's like, hey, can you point out where this is on the map? And you know, they do that and they like lift your watch off just seamlessly from your thing, and then they pass it off to someone who's walking by the other way. He puts it in his hat as he puts it on his head, and you know, it's like 15 million miles, like 20 minutes away before you even realise that it's gone in the first place. It's crazy how smoothly they can do that. Oh, well, that's quite easy. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite a cautious person. You might be like, maybe I'm a little bit anxious. I think anxious is a bit too far, but one thing I remember that they talked about often was this person who kept like patting like his coat to check his wallet was still in his front pocket and that sort of thing. And they were just like, in theory, it's a good idea to keep checking it's still there, but by him patting his wallet, even if he does it like seldomly, if we're watching him and we really got him out to be like a mark or something, we now know exactly where his wallet is. So then, you know, they get on to the bus with him, and then like the bus comes to a screeching stop, and then the guy just like accidentally bumps into him, and you know, the con artist, he gets a quick feel of his coat and he's like, yep, I know what's in there, I can feel the bump. And like the bus stops again, he screeches a halt, he gets in and he grabs the wallet as he comes back and he's apologizing. It's like, whoa, that was lightning quick. It's scary even. It's kind of like magic, but you know, magic is all like misdirection, I suppose, in the first place, and I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with con artists, doesn't it? I wonder if there's a correlation between magicians and also street con artists, if they're the same sort of thing. And it's interesting to see how they portray it in media. Like there was a movie that he was talking about called Focus, I believe, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie, I think. I don't quite recall. Which looked interesting, which he actually rated quite highly, because to me, as someone who's not a con artist, me looking at it would be like, wow, these seem like really convoluted sort of setups and executions that we're going for. Like, oh, you know, it's two people, like, I know they throw around terms like, oh, this person's a stick, this person's a shade, and there's like 8 people teams working to steal this one phone, or whatever. And it's like, oh, they're pretending to be a couple who's lost, and she's like, oh, I'm really lost. She holds a map out as the man just like sneakily steals off a camera. He does sort of like a backwards lift of his arm as someone else is passing by and drops it into like his tote bag, and he just closes it and he walks on. And it's like, wow, one, but that's scary how quickly that can happen. And two, it's also like a weird sort of dance. It's like a dance macabre, isn't it? Except it's not really macabre. It's more like the dance. The dance feels bad or something. Because obviously it's not something you don't want to happen to you, but it's so quick how it happens, you know? They cover up that DSLR camera with a map, and he twists it off in one smooth motion. He swings his arm backwards and drops it into a bag, which he just expects his other conmate to be there. And it's just like, it's scary, I think, how easy it can happen. I wonder, oh, you know what, it's completely unrelated to this video, but it was like a random popular GIF or video that was been shown, circulating a while back of, actually there's 2 of them now, I can think of it, of people stealing phones. One of them was a lot less subtle, was just one guy grabbing a phone, and what he does is he immediately passes it off to someone who's walking in the other direction. So like, you got person A walking forward, person B walking backwards, grabs phone and swiftly passes it off to person walking forward as well, but he like whips his head round to the backward location as if someone just like ran off in that direction, and there's just like 4 other people who are also all in on it as well, who automatically just whip their head around as well, just to simulate like there's a thief who just like ran off. So a person whose phone just got stolen just goes like, huh, what happened? Sees everyone whip around to behind him. He turns around and, you know, it's like, well, that person's like run into the crowd now and he's gone. And that person there is not number wise that everyone in that entire crowd is part of the whole ploy, I suppose, to steal his phone. And the person that, you know, who he thought was being helpful, was whipping his head around to like watch this theoretical thief get away, was actually the person who took his phone in the first place. And it's crazy because that person is right in front of you taking your phone, and you know how easy it is to not realise that he was the one who did it, despite that he's right there and he took it. That's terrifying. Well, that's why is that grasshopper so big? it's huge. And there was another popular one. I can't remember. I actually think it took place in London, but it was just like these 3 like ladies or something walking up behind this other like tourist or something, and you know, one of them just like sneakily pulls out the phone from the bag, like lifts it off to another person who lifts it off to another person, and they just like split up and they just like dissolve almost as immediately as that happens. And you know, that's terrifying. And then the woman, like, she notices pretty quickly. She like 20 seconds later, she's like, "Where's my phone?" But they've long gone. They've skedaddled, and no one even knows anymore. And if anything, this is just, I suppose, a PSA. For you just make sure you keep a tight grip on your belongings to make sure people can't steal things like that. I'm not gonna go as far, because like the person in the video was like, "I have a decoy wallet, so if you steal something from me, it's not gonna happen." I feel like that's just sort of like a byproduct of being someone that he was in that industry, I suppose, for a while. He knows how easy it is to steal, so he's got sort of more awareness about that sort of thing, so he goes to additional measures of having a decoy wallet. I guess having a decoy wallet would be a good idea. I guess spreading all your money out is also definitely a good idea. You should do that. And having like emergency stashes somewhere hidden. But I'm not going to say you should go out and get a decoy wallet necessarily. I mean, I feel like that's a little bit extraneous. Not saying it's not going to be a bad idea if you do it. If you do it, it's, I mean, you can only be safer, I suppose, but it's probably a level of inconvenience which most people don't really want to go to. If anything, I suppose, it's like what we say about bicycle locks, about all that sort of thing. You don't need to go and buy the strongest lock possible. You just need to have a stronger and more inconvenient lock to take apart compared to everyone else, I suppose. Like a lot. Because one thing that's often reiterated in these sort of things is that thieves are opportunistic. Why would they steal your wallet if you have it like buried between like 6 layers of clothing and you're constantly keeping an eye on it and that sort of thing and being wary of your surroundings? Well, they could just steal that like drunk person who's like perhaps 3 beers too deep in, and he just casually left his wallet on the bar ready to pay another tab or something like that, you know. And you know, while I think it's smart advice, I feel like it's kind of sad advice in some sort of aspect. It's like, oh, you know, you can't really do, the best way to protect yourself is sort of like not throw someone else under the bus, but you know, let someone else get hit by the bus rather than you. Just be, I suppose, be further away from the bus than someone else. It's like in a zombie apocalypse. You don't need to be the fastest person, you just need to outrun the slowest person. It's just like, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but it's sort of like, what else are you gonna do? I mean, in a perfect world, you know, maybe there would be no thieves, and in a perfect world, maybe no one would have to resort to thievery. Everyone's needs are sort of cared for, and then we can just live as a functioning society with, you know, taking care of each other, not having to get on each other's bad sides and that sort of thing. But you know, we don't live in that society. To quote the Joker on a weird day. So it's just sort of weird, but so I don't know. Just keep wary, I suppose. Disincentivize it, if anything. But even though I'm someone who's very like, I don't think I've ever gotten anything stolen. Hopefully, but I sure as heck have lost things before. And things can just like easily, like, I had money. Like, one thing I always think about is when I went to the cinema with a group of friends, and you know, a man just came up behind me. He was like, "Hold on, wait," and I was like, "What?" It's like, what? I wasn't like that. I was just like, what's this random person want with me? And it turns out my £10 note fell out my back pocket, just on the ground, and he was kind enough to return it. He didn't have to do that. He could have just ran away. He could have taken it. He would have been £10 richer, you know. And he's not even a con artist. He didn't even need to be a con artist. He could have just done it, and I would have been number wiser. I'd probably gone, reach a cinema and been like, wait, where's my money? And I swear I brought some, and it would have been really sad. You know, I suppose it's just how surprisingly easy it is. It's scary, which is why like I'm kind of glad these sort of videos and things exist. Not so much to be like a tutorial of, you know, how do you steal something. I suppose if you want to learn how to steal something and you end up in right circles, you'll probably get taught anyway. So it's not really like these videos are making a mass idea, a mass teaching sort of thing. Hopefully, and I don't know. So that's probably something that other experts should weigh in on rather than me. But yeah, it's just sort of nice to know there's sort of the ways they try and trick you into this sort of thing. Misdirection is always such a heavy element. Not heavy, but like, well, I mean, yes, heavy, but not heavy as in like the sad heavy. Mira's moving away. Oh no. But it is about time, I suppose. She has been a while. Hey dear, I've been kind of thinking maybe it's time I moved on. Based. Fawnhallow rocks, but I think I just want a new adventure, you know? Go, spread those wings. Thanks, Based. I knew you get it. Guess I gotta start getting ready then. I'll miss Fawnhallow. But if you gotta go, you gotta go, you know? I'll miss you too, Mira. You've been a fantastic villager and companion and friend. Ever been to Claude's place? I love how he's got it laid out, Based. It just feels like Claude, you know? But if you want to spread your wings and learn to fly, then please do so, Mira. There will be greater horizons waiting for you, and we'll have maybe a day or two of just doing a little bit of island hopping, trying to find a new villager who'd be on their way. I don't know how many tickets we got. We should probably check that, see if we got enough. We won't have to do it, of course. Won't have to do it tomorrow. It'll be the day after tomorrow. If anything, I just want to kind of watch more of his like expert videos. I watched another one about the two translators translating how difficult it is to translate live and the techniques they use to be able to do it, and it is absurd. Like, I mean, I kind of speak two languages. Like, I can speak English, obviously. My Mandarin Chinese is conversational, I'd say at best. It's not particularly amazing, but, you know, I could hold my own probably. My Japanese it's severely out of practice, but, you know, I could probably also survive through Japanese alone. And I'd probably learn it quite quickly if I was forced to, as most people do in those sort of situations where it's sink or swim. But like, I cannot even imagine what trying to translate. What am I doing? Rapidly, just like that. Just like hearing something and live streaming it out again. Like, it's difficult enough to hear something in English and then say it again in English, repeat it. And that's like a language I'm super fluent in, and obviously it's a trained ability. It's not like I'm just like, oh, these, you know, translators were just like born with this natural gift to be able to speak concurrently while listening to something. But like, the fact I suppose it exists in the first place is wild. What difficult sort of thing. Like, how do you train it? I guess like practice, but practice seems rather difficult for this sort of avenue, isn't it? I can't even imagine trying to practice it, how frustrating it must be. I guess what you probably do is you start with someone speaking quite slowly, and then you build up to someone speaking faster and faster until you can get up to like a conversational pace with it. And yeah, but they talk a little bit about it in the thing. They go like, you know, it's very important that they jump in, have a conversation, have a live translation at the right point, because if they do it too early, then, you know, because of the way certain languages are structured with each other, it can sort of lose some of the structuring of a sentence. For example, like if you try to translate Japanese goes, I think, subject, verb, object, is that right? No, subject, object, verb. So then it's sort of just like, you know, you might miss something if you try and speak in English which goes subject, verb, object, or something. But other languages have very sort of unique challenges, I suppose, in that aspect as well. But if you start too late, then you're having to hold way too many things in your like short-term memory, which becomes increasingly difficult to translate, which, you know, becomes overwhelming. And what's even more crazy is basically it's so like draining to do live translations for too long that they can only basically do it in like half an hour's spurts, because it's so much like mental overhead going on at the same time, which is not something I've particularly considered before, but that makes perfect sense. you can't exactly expect someone to run at full brain capacity for like even half an hour. I think is quite a long time, just continuously thinking the entire time, which is wild to think about because, you know, our examinations, it's very common to have exams way longer than half an hour. Like an hour is considered a short exam. Like exams I had like even during A level, like in university as well, they were like 3 hours long. And like I think some of the language exams I remember in A level were like 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours or something. Because they have a different format. If I remember, they had like an iPod or something with like the audio track of the speaking, so they can play and listen for it multiple times. But also, you know, you might be like, that's way easier than what you had in GCSE, where you just had to listen to it like twice at maximum and then do it. But it's because if you get to replay it, I suppose, over and over again, the difficulty of it goes quite a bit up. So perhaps it's not really an apt comparison. We forgot to put the ticket away, but who really cares? Yeah, so live translation hard. It's basically what you get at, but you know, they didn't get that just through pure accident. They got that through years and years of hard work and practice. And I suppose, if anything, with con artists do as well. Except for, how do you? This is not something I really considered. How would you even practice as a con artist? Like if you're translating stuff in language, like, you know, you probably have a lot of resources of like different languages and like translated text already that you can practice with. And if you ever want, you could just find someone who's a native speaker of that language and just try and have a conversation with them, right? You can practice live very easily. Practicing as a con artist is quite live. It's quite difficult, isn't it? You just like, you either get it right or you'll get arrested or something like that, right? I'm sure the simplification isn't quite that far, but that's what it sounds like to me. We're running out of space, so let's go. Let's go sell some plants. I guess like maybe you get taught by like another con man or con woman or con folk, I should say, who teaches you exactly how to be a con artist. They show you like the tricks of a trade. Oh, we actually filled up this entire row. We're Lily of the Valley. Oh no, we got one space missing. One more space to fill it up. Why did you go there? It's probably the squares misaligned. Yeah, I suppose you probably have like a con artist mentor or something. He probably acts like an unsuspecting mark for you. You know what annoyed me actually? Because so it's such a tiny thing to be annoyed by. I'm not really annoyed, but I watched that video, of course, about the con artist, and then I watched a bit more of a movie clip of Focus, which actually seems like, I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, but it seems like a fun movie. Like in the same way I think Now You See Me and Now You See Me Too are fun movies rather than necessarily good movies. It's sort of like, I think I described this before, I call them like the dexterity version of action movies. If action movies are strength, then Now You See Me is the dexterity version, I suppose, of that. Where I just mean it's like, you watch it and you're like, this feels completely unconceivable as like in any form of practicality, but it's just really entertaining to watch because it's such a ridiculous dance of set pieces and mingling together to pull off these brilliantly choreographed scenes and that sort of thing. Like you think about the card scene, especially from Now You See Me Too, completely, I'd imagine, unrealistic and unreasonable, but really entertaining to watch. So yeah, I think Focus maybe lands in that category, I don't know. So I watched some of the scenes, you know, where Margot Robbie's being like a thief, and there's a thing, I can't remember who the other actor is, but he basically is trying to lay out the plan to Margot Robbie, but he uses terms which I can't find any description of. Like he says, Tom's a stick, Wayne's the shade, or something like that. I can't remember the names he used exactly. So I tried to search up, and the only thing I could search, so it's like, what is a stick, what is a shade in con artist terminology, but there's not like a big dictionary of con artist technology out there. So if I don't explain it, the only thing I found was someone, I think, writing a review for me being like, just like with other positions and sport teams, con artists have them as well, like the wire, the steer, the stick, the shade, and there's something else, and I'm just like, oh, well, what are those? Is it explained in a movie? I don't know. I'm not going to go watch this movie. You kidding me? I'm just going to talk about it and watch random clips from it and pretend it's a good time. And it's like, what do these mean? But it could just be like the way I phrase the searches. What if I search it now? Con artist terminology, stick, shade. The only thing that kept coming up was like a load of makeup stuff. Con artist slang. Either stick or shade in here. Catfishing, that's not what I want. Cherry. Stick. Not there. You can hear it. You can hear me. Control F. They don't exist. It's not a thing. So what's it? Let's see. Hold on. Focus, movie, stick, shade, wire, steer. I think was the other one. Yeah, as in sports, so different positions laying out content. The steer, the stick, the shade, the wire. What? But do you tell me what they are? I want to know what they are. That's Nikki. Like, are these just made up terms? This must be maybe they're made up terms. I'm like, I want to know what they mean. I'm interested. I'm invested in this made up, or it's not made up word. It's a very real word, but this made up version of this real world of like con artistry. Am I going to become a con artist? No. What are you crazy? It does not seem like a very fun lifestyle for me, nor one I particularly want to participate in. But just like, I like world building. Okay, I guess that's probably why it scratches that sort of world building muscle I've got in my brain. I'm just like, ooh, you know, people have different roles in the team. I want to see how it works out. So the only ones I already know in the con artistry world of a mark and something else. Like, if I were to guess, the stick, I don't know. The shade is probably someone who covers up the thing, you know, but you give some shade, like give you a little bit of cover up to what's going on, like hide, obscure the fact. The wire, you know, the person who communicates everything, because, you know, it's like a wiretap, I assume. The steer, I don't know. The stick, I don't know. But presumably someone's going to be one who carries away the object. So maybe that's like the steer, they're like driving away from a crime scene. You know, a stick is the one who takes it out because they're like sticking their hands in people's pockets. Does it make any sense? I don't know. I'm just making it up. I'm not a con artist if you couldn't tell. And hopefully I don't find myself down that path, but it's just interesting. And probably after this, I'll go watch some of his videos as I... Was there a stick insect on there which just phased out of existence? What the heck was that? I thought I saw something. Maybe that was a graphical glitch. But yeah, I'm going to probably go watch some of those videos while I finish off with Talis Principle. Thumbnail. I've only got to shade it now. Don't get your hopes up for it. I don't think it's that good. I think it's like passable, but it's okay. I'm not particularly proud of it like I am of some of the other ones. Like, I think the Bug Snacks and the Celeste ones are both really good. This one's a bit boring, but I'm also not very good at drawing robotic looking things. So, you know, I don't blame myself. That must be a shark. Listen to that rumble. Just like I said, ocean sunfish. That's a shark. Probably isn't, but what are you? Some kind of fish cop? In which case, what did a fish cop say to the fish robber? Put your hands glub. Like, put your hands up. Put your fins glub. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I tried to make up a fish cop pun on the go and it didn't go very well. I'm sure there is one. What do you call a fish cop? A placeman. There you go. Who said I couldn't make up puns on the spot? Probably no one. But I also can't, so it's like, you're quite false. Falsely led, if that's what you are to believe. If you think I am some sort of improv master, which I am not. I am as God made me, sir. That's a quote from, I don't know. But it sounds familiar. We'll catch 2 more fish and we'll probably round this episode off here. But yeah, I recorded some Celeste today. I will say, I got stuck on one screen for like 1.5 episodes and I'm still stuck on it, so, you know, that's kind of worrying. I guess it kind of speaks volumes of how difficult that screen is. Maybe, if you've played Farewell already, you might be like, oh, I know exactly what screen you're talking about. I don't even think it's going to be that hard. Because I've got to the end twice, but I'm just like, oh, I failed at the final hurdle. I got this. Biscuit, I'm pretty sure, is in his house, so it's pretty nice. Also, there's a post of someone on the Animal Crossing subreddit who just like they've finished all their Nook Mount missions, and I was like, whoa! I've been playing this game for like 500 days, maybe more than 515. Is that what we're on now? I don't remember. And I'm like, whoa! I haven't even gotten close to finishing some of them. To be fair, some of them I definitely could have finished if I actually tried to do it. Like, I could have sent out 2 letters every single day and I could have done the pen pals one, but I just couldn't be bothered. Some of them are not even close though. Like, I don't think I've done like 200 Also, like, I don't think I've helped out villagers 200 times. It's called Smile Out. Right? How close am I? 300. I'm on 128. And I've played this game every day for 500 days. That is insane. Also, you got a flea. Cool, let me just pick it off here. As we go, catch a fish and give it to Biscuit. Oh, no, don't give fish to Biscuit, give a present from Raymond to Biscuit. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been, like, hustled before, I suppose, in real life. I like to think myself I'm far too cautious and too little of a risk taker to be like, if someone came up to me and be like, hey, you want to play like a pub bet? I'll be like, no. Sorry. I'm no fun. You know? Take an Enneagram test and, you know, type 7 was my lowest type. No fun allowed around me. No! A fishing rod. Oh well. We'll just buy another one. I'm not here to play around with games because you're just here to take my money. And I'm not, you know, I don't have enough of an ego to be like, oh, I'm going to outsmart you at your own game. I'm just going to not participate in it in the first place. Far simpler that way. We haven't found who's crafting yet, have we? Could be Biscuit. Who knows? Who knows? It's wild. It's a mystery. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. My throat is just a bit... is how I describe it. You look busy. What? I just want to know what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're really making. I already know how to make this, I'm pretty sure. I wonder how many more recipes we still have left to get. I'm sure there's some, but... Stretch. None quite yet. Biscuit, Biscuit, Biscuit. It's delivery time from Raymond. He's gonna give you something cool, and it's your first new t-shirt that you've got since coming to this island, because I haven't been bothered to give you new stuff. Cavalier shirt. I don't know, try it on, man. That's cute. Sure, why not? Wear what you want. Because I feel like what the villagers do is if it matches like their preferences for style and colour, they actually wear it more often. Because there's that time that Raymond's got like the sleeved apron. I feel like he doesn't wear it nearly as often as he wears the tux and the other fancy smart coat we given him. If only we could actually properly customise exactly what they wear, that'd be nice. But they'd have to give it like some sort of HUD framing to be like, ooh, here you're choosing out outfits of them. Anyway, let's round this episode off here, shall we? So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, got here just back in time. Bye bye for now, and I have your wallet. I don't know.